Hi, everybody.
What's good, y'all?
I'm Laura.
Carlos, aka Brazy Cuts.
And today, this is our
That's the
first
name of our podcast.
podcast. We haven't decided on the name yet,
Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out.
but it
In
will
progress.
it will be uploaded as soon as this is uploaded.
Yeah.
But we wanted to kind of create this podcast mainly to mainly to just I don't know, I think Carlos and I we're very different people, and both of us have extremely different perspectives on
Yeah.
different topics like business and life. And
Just how we are as young people and where we're at in life and how we got into and our views on a lot of shit.
yeah, I'm definitely a little bit more rational. I think we're both rational, but I'm definitely a little bit more rational and blunt,
Super
kind
blunt.
of very, very blunt. And Carlos isn't. Well, he actually is. I think he just has two sides to him. But
Yeah, I do.
yeah,
I have my business side and then I just have my side where I'm just like whatever, I don't care.
yeah,
I'm just whatever.
same.
Okay, anyways, so
I guess we're just gonna introduce ourselves a little bit.
Okay, so Laura, introduce yourself first.
So, I'm Laura. I'm not that interesting. I'm not as interesting as Carlos.
How old are you?
I'm 23. I
What do you
just
resemble?
graduated from university.
Do you resemble to me? What are you towards
I'm
me?
Carlos's sister, his loving sister, his boss, manager of Brazy Cuts Barbershop.
We have a barbershop.
I also do other things at the side, like I tutor. Yeah. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm not super interesting. I finished with my bachelor's of commerce and marketing. I'm in real estate now and property management. So just dabble in a little bit of everything.
That's lit.
Yeah, I like making money. That's my tagline for life.
Yeah, that's literally your tagline for life.
And introduce yourself.
Okay, well, my name's Carlos. I'm 21 years old. I'm Laura's brother, and just a little bit of background around myself. So, I was never really good at school. Not that I wasn't good, but I never really cared too much about school. I lived more of life. I experienced life more. Graduated high school, used to play soccer, used to work a couple jobs, just a bunch of random shit, honestly. But yeah, I'm a barber now. I've been cutting hair for getting on to 4 years. Started when I was 17. Me and my sister, we opened up a barbershop.
Brazy Cuts
Brazy Cuts
Barbershop.
Barbershop, located St. Clair Avenue and Oakwood in Toronto, Ontario. And about me, I don't know. I have two different personalities. I can be like a fun guy, but I can also be just a very to myself quiet guy, depending on who I am and when I want to be. Oh, it died.
I think
But
all of us do.
it
I
died.
think it's funny because he meant the camera died. But I think it's funny because in business he's more laid.
I'm laid back, but I'm serious at the same time.
Yeah, and so am I, but I feel like he's more himself. The barbershop is mainly boys, guys, except we have a female braider. And we did have a female barber, but he's able to be more in his element. And then for me, it's not really my passion like it is yours, So
You're more on the marketing side, on the business side, on aspect type of thing, which
yeah. So
which
I'm
is
a little
really
bit more
good.
serious, He's a little bit more laid back in the sense, every day he comes, he sees his boys. Me, it's every day I come, I'm okay, how are we gonna make money?
Yeah, it's hard to balance. That's one thing I learned, or I'm learning at such a young age, is that it's so hard to balance on being a business owner, because everybody thinks that, well, for the most part, when you're a business owner, you have to be mean, you have to be rude, you have to be strictly, professional with them. But it's really hard in a barbershop because, bro, in a barbershop, it's like family. Everybody's comes in, talks. It's a lifestyle conversations and stuff like that. So it's not like you can't be professional every single second. But
Yeah, I think that's even from the beginning, I think that's something Carlos and I always used to have conversations about and struggled with. More him because like I said, he comes, he sees his boys every single day. But
yeah.
it's as a person and as a boss and owner, it's so hard to draw the line between friendship and a boss.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that not only Carlos, like I obviously, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good at it, but like I feel like Carlos had,
You are, but you're not connected the same way I
yeah,
am, you know? Like you
yeah.
come here, my sister comes into the shop, she does what she needs to do, she gets it done, and then after it's like, okay, bye guys. Like,
Well, I mean, I do
no,
have a
you are
connection with them.
here.
It's just like I feel like for me, it's
Like
more
I'm literally
like
standing beside these guys
yeah,
every single day. It's
yeah.
different, you know?
Yeah, so I think it's been a little bit harder for, that's why like I feel like that's why it's good that I'm here, and like something I like tell, or like he tells people that want to open a shop is like get a manager, because like Carlos, I mean, he's cutting the whole day. It's difficult to like
Yeah.
come to the end of the day with like a fresh mind, like a rational mind, and like kind of be like, okay, this needs to happen, that needs to happen, that needs to happen.
There's only so much that your mind can handle, and it's like focusing on cutting hair itself is already a very, like, it takes up a lot of energy, and it's like trying to focus on running a business or running a shop at the same time, like it's hard. So definitely for any young people that want to open up a barbershop, I do suggest that if you are going to open up something, any type of business, you need other people around you, because you're only good at what you're good at. You have to focus on what you're good at, and hire people at what they're good at.
Like,
Now,
yeah,
I wanna talk about like at the beginning. Like I kind of want to talk about us and how we came up with this, and just like
okay, that's a fun
the
story.
guts, because it's like, bro, I 21, 20 years
Yeah.
old, we did this shit. Like it's not easy,
Yeah.
like people be scared. So
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, that's like something fun to talk about. So, like let's do it from like kind of both perspectives,
Let's
I
do it
guess.
from your perspective-
Okay,
your
so
perspective
for
first.
me, like I'm always like looking like at different business ideas. Like 24/7, I'm always like, okay, we can do this, we can do that, we can do that. Like that's how I am, like a million streams of income. And I remember like Carlos was getting to a point where he was like booked out. Like I saw him, like he was, doing his thing in the basement. And like at one point he decided to leave the basement and he went to a barber shop in Toronto. And this man would get up like at 6 o'clock, be downtown, be at the barbershop work. I used to see him and I'm like, this is not the right fit for you. Like it's out of your comfort zone. Which is good sometimes, but I'm like, this is not the right fit for you. But you know what? Like you have to let people do what they want to do sometimes. So he would get up at 6 a.m. He would be there at 8 a.m. Like he was so punctual. I'm like, bro, I used to tell him like,
yeah, I used to be there like
yeah.
I used to be there 30 minutes earlier before, even before the manager, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I used to tell him every single day, like, I'm like, Carlos, if you can do this for somebody else, imagine what you would do for yourself. And I used to tell him, I remember telling him every single day for at least, I think he was there for like, how long were you there for?
Like a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, a month and a half, 2 months. I told him every single day for a month. And I'm like, Carlos, like, I'm willing to give up like my social life and my kind of like my life to like do it for you. Because like, obviously there is some sort of like fear when you're that young going into like a business like that every single day. And then I remember one day I was just like chilling in my room and then he's like, let's do it. And I was like, huh? Because I got so tired of telling him every single day. I was like, okay, this guy's not budging, like, whatever.
Serious.
And then one day he just came to me and he's like, let's do it. I was like, damn. I was like, okay. I was like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about your side? Like, I guess it's the same thing.
So like, I don't know. With me, I was super scared because I never had no experience with like being a business owner. I was just really good at cutting hair. Like I was just really good at cutting hair, and I didn't even realize that, I could make something out of this. I knew I wanted to. Like I always knew, like, from watching people in YouTube and everything. I knew that I always wanted to do more than just cut hair. I just didn't know what. And when you first started talking to me about opening up a barbershop, I was very scared because I didn't think I had the confidence in me. I didn't think I had it in me to be a owner. I didn't think I had it in me to run people. I always knew I did, but just like
that push,
just it becoming reality was the scariest thing because, bro, my whole life, it's always been like, I've always had everything against me. And like, it was kind of just set up to where like, I shouldn't be in the position, we shouldn't be in the position that we are today, kind of. And it's like, I don't know, every time that you kept telling me, like, I was like, okay, you're telling me this, so it must mean that at least one person thinks that I have the
potential.
I have the potential. And like, that's why I thank you. Before we even continue, I thank you, because without you, like I don't think I would have done it. I would have always thought about it, and I might have opened it later, but I don't think I would have actually pushed myself
Yeah.
to actually do it. So, I mean, opening up the shop, like, it wasn't easy. It was scary. Like, that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing is the fear of not being successful, right? But
And that's why like I think it's super important to have kind of like a team or like somebody there,
Yeah.
because like, like Carlos not always had somebody, but like, like he had me to fall back on, and like I had him to fall back on. So it's like, okay, like what are we going to do now? We have this idea, like, okay, cool. Like, like what do you think about it? And it's like, even like the shop, it took us like,
why did you, like, one question, I know I'm cutting you off, but why did you want to push me? Like, why did you keep pushing me? Like, why, like, you were in school, you're doing your thing, you had your own
yeah.
kind of, I guess you could say, quote unquote, dreams. Like, what made you, like, say, you know what, like, I think this could be successful, I'm gonna keep pushing them?
I mean, like Carlos said, he like everything he thought he knew was how to cut hair. And like it's so funny because I'm like literally always right. I used to tell Carlos like I can see you being a businessman. And this was like 5 years ago. I was
He
like,
told me I could be in real estate.
yeah, I told him he can be in real estate and a businessman. And I was like, I see it in you. Like you have potential. Like, like Carlos wasn't like, he used to get compared to me all the time in school because I used to
Yeah.
get straight A's and he wouldn't. And like,
I
that's
wasn't
not,
the
yeah, that's not the definition of being smart. Like, like obviously I graduated university. That's a different level of like, education, but like, it doesn't mean anything, it
Yeah.
really doesn't mean anything. But like, I've always believed in Carlos. Like I see him talking sometimes and like he's definitely matured a lot. And I remember like, let's even go back to like when I first like
Bro, my
got
life
you
was
into
like-
business. Like he never used to be into any of this. And I remember like I read
You were the first person that put me on the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and
Yeah.
honestly that book changed my life.
every single day for like, not even every single day. I used to put the book and I'm like, read it. And he's like, okay. He would read one page and then he would end it. And then I remember one day I'm like, Carlos, read this book. It'll change your life. And then the next day he's like, wow, I'm learning this. And I was like,
Yeah, because
damn.
I never even read. Like, I was not a good reader. Like, I didn't read in school. I didn't read outside of it. So like when you were telling me read this book, I didn't think books did anything. I didn't think, they helped you or anything like that. But I don't know, the minute I picked up that book, like it just changed. It changed like the way I thought about it. Honestly, I didn't think too much about it, but I started noticing little things in my life were changing. Like the way I looked at money, the way I looked at like my future, the way I looked at like experiences, like everything changed once I read that book.
Yeah, and I gave it to him and I'm like, make sure you read it. And he was like, no. And I think like after a year of me giving it to him, he read it. And like,
Yeah.
I've always tried to like put Carlos onto these type of things. Like, always try to be like, okay, this is what a property is. This is what a mortgage is. This is what this is. This is what that is. Because like, like it's difficult when people tell you or like compare you to somebody all your life, or like you're told, like school is the only way for
Yeah.
you when it's not. And like Carlos is so smart, and like there's so many people who were not like quote unquote good at school that are so smart, and like like the education system is just not programmed in a
That's a
way
whole
to like
nother
let
story.
those people like excel.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so after that, I feel like Carlos has matured so much since starting this business. Not that he wasn't, but
No, I'm this, like, even before the business, like I think once I got into cutting hair, I think that matured me so much because I felt like I truly found my passion and what I want to be my future. Like I remember when I first started cutting hair, like I already knew there was something in me that was like, this is gonna be my life. Even though I didn't think anything of it, I'm just like, this is gonna be my life. And I think that's when like everything started to click and like, okay, like let's get the ball rolling now. Like stop living day by day, because that's what I was doing realistically before. Like I was always still hustling, but like it wasn't, there was no path, there was no real future. It was kind of
End
like
goal.
I'm hustling day to day just to hustle, you know?
yeah, and I think that takes us back to like what made me want to like help you, because like I talk about this, not I talk about it a lot, but like it's something that comes to my mind. Like like you go to university and you get a job, and it's like me, it's like, okay, like I went to university and it's like I'm putting internships and like my job on hold to like to grow this business. And like I'm not going to say I'm giving up my life, but like it's a huge decision, and like that's a lot of decisions some people have to take. It's like, okay, am I going to take the normal route, like a 9 to 5, or I'm going to like invest in my brother, like his idea, like his passion. And it's like, he had such a strong passion that like for me, I was like, okay, like he has the clientele. It's clear, and I have like a passion for business. I have a passion for like managing people. Like we could definitely mesh this together. Like I started helping him like, you know, with business cards and stuff like that. And then I think it just kind of like, I think we're like the perfect
Did you show me about Print Pop?
Yeah, I showed him about like a lot of things, and like, you know, like it's just it's a beautiful relationship.
It has its ups and downs. Dealing like, no, trust me, like I love you when you're here, but at the same time, like we fight.
Yeah, we fight
a lot. Well, not a lot.
Yeah, we just get into arguments.
The thing is, we don't sometimes even like me and her, it's hard to differentiate business with, you know, family relationships sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I feel like for the most part we do a good job about it, but there's obviously times where we will say something and it's a little bit too sensitive.
Yeah, I think that just takes us back to the type of like people that we are. Like obviously we'll dive into this a little bit more, but like when it comes to business, I like my money. Like I want my money. I'm going to do anything to make sure that like profit happens. I'm going to make sure anything to make sure that, you know, at the end of the day, we're getting our revenue. And it's like, although Carlos is the same way, like he has the passion. I just like, money is my passion.
Like, yeah, for me, the passion is more so like the actual growing something, creating something. Not that it's not for my sister, but that's why not to say she's not in it more for the money, but at the same time, yes, like she looks at everything, the financials and stuff like that. I'm starting to get onto it, but one thing that she's really made me aware of is the simple fact that money matters. Like being able to be financially free and being able to not have to worry and knowing that your business is doing well, like it matters a lot. And that's where I really had to take a step back, because when it came to the business, of course I wanted to make money, but at the same time, I'm more so in it for the passion of the building. And for me, at the end of the day, whatever I make, I don't really care to look at. Like, it's like, what did I do today? Who did I help today? What did I fix today? What did I create today? And it's good, but at the same time, especially when you want to be a business owner, I also had to realize that, hey, you still got to pay the bills. You still got to make money. You still got to provide for people. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's something that you really helped me with.
And then like for me, like that's his goal, right? But I don't cut. So for me, it's like, how many appointments did I book today? Did I book everyone? Is everyone, you know, doing their thing? Are we getting the customers and are we fully booked, et cetera, et cetera? And like, I honestly think that like me being here or like having that person allows you to be who you are, because barbering is your passion. Being a business owner at the moment or when you first started was not definitely like
I had to grow into
there.
it. I had to grow into it because I was so used to cutting hair.
Like you want to be a barber, you started as a barber, but like I feel like having that person allows you to grow into being a business owner, because if Carlo jumped into it, like it would have been difficult. Like
doing it by myself would have been impossible.
Yeah, it would have been difficult. And that's why like a lot of people are like, I hear barbers are like, people in general all the time say, I'm going to open my business. I'm going to open my business. Like I can do what you could do. And it's just like, we gave up our life. Like I used to go to school, I used to work another job, and I used to run the shop, and like
we put in a lot of hours that people really don't see, like behind the scenes. And we don't like to show it, because not that we don't like to show it, but we don't show too much, because it's like at the end of the day, we don't need to show people what we're doing to make us successful, you know?
Yeah, that's like our thing, you know? Like, and it's not even something to show. Like, it's like, obviously being a business owner, I feel like it's so glamorized. Like,
but being an entrepreneur, because we're quote unquote entrepreneurs, but people don't really understand what that really means.
Yeah,
and
like
the work you have to put into and stuff like that. Like, I don't even really consider myself an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I just consider myself a person that's following what they love to do, and then you is like a person that's
following what I love to do, money,
and
manage people. I think I even found myself here too, because like I realized I love managing people, like managing.
And you I think it took you some time to grow, because my sister, she says she's an introvert, but I don't believe that at all, because at the beginning she'd be like, I'm shy, but the minute that somebody sits down and says something to her, she opens her mouth and doesn't close it. But I think you really enjoy the barbershop environment.
Yeah.
Because, bro, if you create something, I know what you're gonna say, but if you create something where, you know, there's people that love each other and people want to communicate. Bro, barbershop is a sick ass place.
Yeah, our barbershop, I like love our barbershop. Like we're here right now and like we haven't, like we're not here often obviously because of COVID, and it's like, damn, like you miss it. Like you miss the people, you miss the environment, you know, like Carlos said, I was 100% an introvert, like 100% an introvert, but like being here definitely like put me at a different level, you know. Like I remember he always used to tell me, go hand out business cards. I was like, no, like I'm not gonna do that. And like I think that's something that we can like also touch on. It's like, you don't have to, there's so many ways to market your business. There's so many ways, and like Carlos and like, you know, like he heavily, you know, touched on like handing out business cards, handing out this, and like for me, I did not have kind of the quote unquote guts to do that. I did not have the guts to go and like give a business card. I'm so scared of rejection. So for me, I focus more on like, you know, what can I do on Instagram? What can I do through marketing? How can I reach out to people? And like he focused on the in-person reaction, and like it took me a while. It took me like I'm still scared to this day to hand out a business card. But like it just shows that like, you know, there's so many ways to market your business. That's like a whole other. We'll do that in like another episode or like another podcast. But like coming from like an introvert that's like still an introvert, like you can grow your business in so many ways.
100%.
You know.
But I wanted to ask you, how have you been dealing with everything going on right now? Like right now, because Toronto is still in lockdown. You know, we've been in it for like a couple months now, and it's like, for me, I'm still doing what I gotta do, you know. And like we already talked about this, but like for you, like how has that been? Because there's only so much marketing you could do when we're not able to bring the people that we're trying to market in, right? Yeah,
I think so. It hit me really hard. Like it hit me super, super hard when we first stopped, like in November. And like now it hit me even harder because it's like, you know, like I said before, everyone my age is like graduating, getting internships, getting jobs, and like it made me like realize like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing, you know? And it's like, I still work, I still have a job, I have like multiple sources of income, by the way, so I'm not just like sitting at home doing anything.
A fucking bum.
Yeah, I'm not like a bum, but like I still have other ways to get money, like, you know, which is another topic that we'll touch on. But like I'm still in, even though I graduated, I'm still in school, so that's keeping me busy. But it's like, damn, like I'm trying to be making $200K a year, you know, and it's like, what am I doing now to put me in that position? And it's like, the shop is closed, and it's like, it ruins your mental health. I feel like it 100% ruins your mental health. So Doug Ford, I hope you listen to this. Sure. But it's like, it ruins your mental health, and like, I don't know, like there was days where I'm like so sad where I don't even want to pass by the shop because I'm like, it's our baby. Like we worked so hard, you know, when we put out so much money, and it's like, damn, like the thought of it, even like, okay, first of all, it will never close. Like let's just the thought of like, oh my gosh, like it's been closed for like, I don't know, 6 months. Like it's such a weird feeling to like, to know like we like literally Carlos devoted his life. Like I used to wake up at 6 and go to bed at 12, you know, like we devoted our life like for 3 months to this. And it's like, just to see it get taken away, like temporarily, obviously for that, it's like, it's crazy. So like, I'm thankful like every day that like I still have a job, and like Carlos still has a job, and like, I don't know, like I'm definitely a little bit like sad about it, but I mean, let's just hope for better times.
Yeah, facts.
How about you?
Honestly, like people are always asking me, how are you dealing with it? How are you dealing with it? Don't you got to do this? Don't you got to pay rent? You know, don't you feel sad? And I'm just like, well, yeah, but shit must go on. You know, like I get tired of people asking me, because they're the same guys. They'll come in, they'll always ask me the same stuff. Are you paying for rent? It's like, yeah, I'm paying for rent. They're like, oh, don't you feel sad? It's like, of course I feel bad, but me dwelling on it and me thinking about how bad it is not going to change the fact that I still got to pay for these things, and I still got to do certain things. So I'm just looking at it in the way of like, okay, this is a roadblock. Now I got to clear the roadblock, and I got to figure out how to, you know, continue the path. So it's been hard. There's been some days where I'll wake up and I don't want to really get up, but I always just remind myself of where I'm trying to get towards, you know, like what I'm really trying to do. And then the minute I think about that, it's like all the negativity and all of me just not wanting to do anything just kind of goes away, or like just goes in the back end, and I just focus on what I'm really determined to do.
I think what's helped us a lot too is like it forces you, like if you're a hustler, it really brings out the hustler in you, like 100%. Like it really allows you to be like, okay, like this is not what I can do right now, what can I do right now? And like we're working on so many other things right now that I don't think if we were at the shop we'd have time to work on like so many other things.
I think this is really made me realize, it's like, now that you're not physically busy, what are you gonna do to help you grow? Because everyone is so, especially in this day and age, it's a working people's world. You know, people work every single day. So it's like, now that a lot of people can't work physically, I mean, I feel like we work out our body so much to the point like we're so tired we go to sleep. But now it's like, how are we mentally gonna work our brain and our body, right? So it's like, now that we can't work, what are we doing to help ourselves grow and find other ways to grow whatever you're doing, or figure out ways to gain different type of incomes? Like throughout this time, bro, cutting hair and stuff like that, and working on the business is something that we still do every day.
Passive income.
But like, getting into stocks, getting into crypto, like understanding so many other things in life, is like, I'm still working no matter what. And that's when you're a real hustler. Is like, even when there's not work, there's work. That's what you have to understand, that even when there's not work, there's still work. You know, like on the days off, or on the days that we take off, I'm still fucking thinking about everything that I gotta, everything that I can do, you know?
Yeah. Like we work 7 days a week.
Bro, no Netflix. Like, I watch it once in a while, but like for the most part, it's like, it's a hustle, it's a grind every single day.
It is. And I like that. Like we talk about this a lot. It's so funny because like we talk about it a lot, and like Carlos and I don't have, like, Carlos has a bigger circle than I do, but still, it's still very small. It's very small. And it's
I know people, and I cut a lot of people, but they only know a little bit about me, and I like to keep it that way. Whenever it comes to me, you know, them sitting down with me, I don't like to talk about myself. I like to just let them speak, and then I kind of just go off of them, because when they're sitting in a chair, it's more of like their time, not really my time. But
but I'm like talking about circle, like
but that's what I'm saying. Everyone thinks you're a barber, you know everybody, you love everybody, everybody's cool around you, but they only know me as a barber. They don't know me as a person.
But
outside of that, circle is super small.
Like
super duper.
Like it's very hard for me to find, like, I would say, like, not friends, just people I'm like compatible with, whether it's on like a romantic or like neutral friend level, because it's like, when you're around people, and like people, I mean my brother and my mom, that work so hard.
We got this from my mother, by the way.
That work so hard. It's like, whoa. Like I had somebody, I don't know if I should say it. I had somebody the other day, you know, just be like, this is the first time I hear somebody talking about stuff like this. This is the first time I have like an intellectual conversation with someone. And for me, I was like, whoa, like, that's weird, because
how do you feel about, like, you know, your age, people like telling you that, because even you got and I got it, people tell us that like, oh, you're 21, you're 22, and like your mindset is like this, like you feel like you can't connect with a lot of people because all they want to talk about is nonsense. So how do you feel like it's just in your life? You know?
I've always been like this. Like I've always been so mature, and like even in high school, I didn't fit in. Like people are always like, "Oh my God, you must have been," like, no, I did not fit in at all. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I hate clubs, I don't party. Like I've never done anything. So like I was definitely an outcast, and I'm still an outcast, and like, but I love it. Like I remember so many times I've had to like reject alcohol or reject, you know, smoking, and
even our relationship was different because I was on a whole different path in life than
like,
you were.
I was 100% an outcast, and like I'm still like I'm still an outcast. You know, like people look at me differently. People, you know, might be like, oh, like the way that she talks, the way, like, you know, like I want to talk about something this, even like my old friends, you know, like all about boys and stuff like that. And it's like, you have to know what you want in life. You have to know what you want for yourself. I know what I want. I know that I want to retire. I want to retire my mom. I know that I want the business to be multi-million-dollar business. I know that I want Carlos and I to be billionaires by like 35, 30.
Bubba-naires.
Bubba-naires. Yeah. Billionaires. So like, I know what my goal is. And like, regardless of who you are, like, you're not stopping me. So that's why like money is like my motivation, and like I love money, so I don't really care. I'm definitely an outcast, and sometimes I'm like, oh, like maybe I should try drinking, maybe I should try smoking.
You've never
like,
done it ever.
I've never. And like, but for me, I know that I need to wake up the next day. Go to work, be focused. Like the thought of me not being in control of myself and not being sober scares the living crap out of me, because I'm like, I could do something that can like potentially ruin my life. And that's not happening because I'm driving a Lambo. You know what I'm trying to say? Even like with Carlos, because there was a point where he was not
for me, focused. It was a different story. For me, I needed that. Like, you know, back when I was younger, like I didn't go through a pleasant lifestyle, you know? Like everything that my sister was, I wasn't. When it came to smoking, drinking, like that's something I did on the daily. And for me, it was like
smoking.
Yeah, drinking once in a while, not really. Smoking, it was like everyday thing. And like for me, it was like I needed that, right? Because I was scared. I was running away from, you know, my reality and my lifestyle at home, you know, my lifestyle with my friends and my people and stuff like that. So, you know, for me, it was just like I was scared of reality. And then once I started getting into this, I had to understand that, bro, you have to take control of your life. You know, you helped me with that.
Yeah, like I remember one day, like Carlos never used to be open, like very like.
I was, barbering. Okay, whatever. But cutting hair, like, really shaped me into the person that I am today. Because throughout high school, I was always, everybody knew me, but no one really knew me, you know? Like, people knew who I was, they knew my name, they knew my face, but they never really had a conversation with me because I never really allowed anybody to have a conversation with me. I was a super introverted person. I was somebody that would just always be in the background, you know? Even till this day, like, when I'm cutting people, I have a certain aura, a certain personality, but when I'm outside and I'm on my regular day-to-day stuff, like, I'm a happy person, I'm a good person, but I like to be more to myself. But once I started cutting hair, it really made me uncomfortable. And that's something that I really realized in life, is that you have to be uncomfortable to grow. You know, just doing things every single day, the daily day, you know, waking up, brushing your teeth, going to work, all that stuff. Like, all that stuff is good and all, but it's like, what are you really doing? What are you really doing that's going to make your heart beat fast? Mm-hmm. What are you doing that's going to make your hands shake, your palms shake, your body cold? You know, if you're not doing anything that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, then you're not growing. Like, you're not doing what you should do every single day to the maximum. You know, like, every day I wake up and I'm like, if I'm not doing something that is going to make me uncomfortable, like, not to the point where I'm nervous every second, but to the point where it's like, damn, I don't know if this is going to go well or bad. I just say, screw it, and I do it.
Yeah.
Because that's how life should be, because you don't know when your day is going to come.
That's something that Carlos has taught me, because, like, I'm so, like, I am not risk averse. Like, I don't take risks. You're
calculated. Like, you like to calculate everything.
I'm so calculated. And, like, again, like, I love being calculated. It's got me to where I am today. You know, like, we're both very successful, but it's like, I need to know what my end goal is. I will never do anything unless I know, like, okay, this is the end goal.
That's why we butt heads.
Yeah, that's where we butt heads.
Because, like, even when it comes to the business, I'm more of like, if I like it and I think it has the potential, let's do it. Like, I don't care. I don't care what it costs. I don't care what we have to do to get it done. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
But then my sister's like, wait. This is what it's going to cost. This is what it's going to take. This is how long it's going to be. Do you really want to do it?
Yeah. Like, is it going to make us profit? That's my only question. Every time he comes to me with an idea, I'm like, sure. Are we a charity or are we a business? Yeah. You know, that's something that you have to ask yourself. Is it going to make me profit? Because, like, the goal of a corporation is to make profit. You know, obviously ethical, right ways. Like, we do everything legally, but, like, you know, like, to grow, to make profit. You know, you cannot grow a business if you're not making profit, period, point blank, you know? And like, I like that we're both like that, because I'm not like, I'm for the people, but I'm not for the people. I'm for my people, like, which is like the people that I want to feed, you know, my future family. And like, I don't know, like, that's how I am. I love the person that I am. Like, I love how I am with business. And I love the way that Carlos is with business, because if he wasn't like that, you know, people would not like me.
Yeah,
But
we balance each other out though, for real.
yeah, but I like, you know, it's good to have two different personalities. Like, I really like it. I'm definitely a little bit more stern, but it's got me to where I am. And like, the Carlos's personality has gotten me to where he is, you know?
I like who I am. I don't think I'm really gonna, obviously I'm still gonna grow. I think there's a difference in between growing and changing who you are. When you're growing, you're just adding on to the type of person you already are. But when you change, that's like you just taking everything that you know and throwing it away. And it's like, at some point in your life, you're going to have to do that to become the person that you want to be, that you're not right now. But now I feel like I'm at that stage of growing. And it's like, everything that you teach me, it's just going to continue to, like, I'm going to continue to grow and learn.
Yeah.
But you're more behind the scenes, so not a lot of people really know, like, of you, to be honest. You
it's
know,
weird.
Everybody thinks of the shop, they think like
Carlos.
realistically of me. So how does it feel to like be just in the background?
I mean, I'm not really like I don't like being the center of attention. Like, it's something that I don't like. I like being behind the scenes. Like I said, I like making my money and dipping, you know, going home. I don't know. I kind of like, people like are like, okay, like, who's this? You know, like, what's up with her? And I'm very low key.
Who's this girl walking inside of the shop?
Yeah, looking like a Kardashian.
Like a boss going behind this, going behind the chair. And
I like it. Like, I like when people are like a little bit kind of like, what does she do? Like, you know, what is she? Like, who is she? You know, like, who is she? And like, I'm not an open person either. Like, I'm not really like talkative about my life. I'm not really out there on social media. So like, I don't know. I'm starting to be more open, but I like it. You know, Carlos definitely is the face of things. He's the better looking one in the family. So we'll just, okay. You're supposed to be like, no, you're nice too. Okay. Anyways, no, I've never been I've never been someone to be out there. Like, you know, I like being low key. I like handling things behind me, because you're the personality of the brand. I'm not, you know, like you're the face of it. I'm not. I'm just like making you make money, if that makes sense. So I don't really need like little baby, Megan Thee Stallion, you know, like all these people like Fredo, Central C, like you don't know who their manager is. You don't know who their manager is.
Yeah, the managers don't get credit.
The managers are caking though. Like, the managers are caking, not like cake, like super
I don't
cake.
know, still.
No, but like if you're doing like $10 million, they take a 10% cut from it. Like, they're caking.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't know who they are, but they're the brains, quote unquote. Like, you know, like they book like Lil Baby's jobs. Like, I got you the spot on the podcast. Like, okay, it's not like a whoa, but like, you know, it's still like they book the shows, they book this, they book that. Like, they're the brains. And it's like, I don't really need the recognition. Money's my recognition. If you give me recognition, if mom gives me recognition, if like my significant other does, if like the people important in my life would be like, damn, like look at you, you know, if like my best friend does, like that's good, you know. I don't need people to be like, wow, like, you know, I'm just gonna pull up in like my Lambo or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
I want to pull up in my Honda.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's another thing. Like, I'm not materialistic. I just love cars, but like money is the end goal. You know?
I don't know. I don't need much in life. What satisfies me in life is, you know, everything that I build, things that I do to change people's lives, things that I do to change my life. Honestly, like, a car is cool, but it doesn't really change my life. It changes, you know, how I drive, how fast I go, but it doesn't change. Like, for me, it doesn't change anything. You have everyone.
No, but
don't
like,
get me wrong. Everybody has their
I think
own,
we just have like
know?
it's just different passions. Like, I also own like a tutoring business kind of thing. So for me, being able to teach a kid how to read, or being able to have a kid to come and like confide in me about like how they're feeling, or, you know, like that brings tears to my eyes, you know, but I've been doing that for like 4 years. So like
Because you have a different love for tutoring. Like if you came and talked to me about tutoring, I'd be like, okay, I'm trying to make some money from it and that's it.
Yeah, with the barbershop, it's like that's where the money is. Like I do tutoring while the barbershop was, or I used to do while it was open. And like I loved it. Like seeing the kids made me so happy. Like sometimes I just tell the parents, like, leave them with me for 3 hours, I'll take care of them. Like, you know, like, so that's where my passion is helping kids, you know, like being able to, mainly it stems from you though, because I used to like, that's like a huge thing because like, you know, like people always used to compare Carlos to me and like teachers never used to help Carlos. And it's like, I see that in mainly boys and I'm like, bro, like that's not happening. Like I'm going to make sure that you're as confident as you can be going into that classroom because I'm not going to let any teacher try to like ruin your self-esteem, you know?
Yeah,
that's how I am. So that's why I love doing it. But, you know, like barbering, seeing Carlos passionate about it makes me passionate about it. You know, because I never even used to know anything and I'm like, yeah, I know what a taper is. I know what a bald fade is. I know what a mid fade is. Like, you know,
did you ever think that there was this much potential like in cutting and barbering? Because like what did you think of barbering before I even started getting
I didn't even know
it?
what the hell barbering was. And like when Carlos first started, like me and my,
you guys were scared.
I wasn't scared. Like my mom was. She was like, my mom was. I was kind of like, okay, like I always like had confidence in you. I always believed in you. I always thought, you know, like you were gonna make something out of yourself, but I didn't know what it was.
I didn't think it was cutting hair. I didn't think it was cutting hair either. And honestly, like when I fell in love with it, I didn't care what anybody think. I didn't care what anybody thought. I didn't care what my mom thought. I didn't care what, honestly, like what you thought.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't even care what I thought because I was, you know, fighting with myself too. Because I was in Portugal, like,
yeah,
I was playing soccer before. I thought soccer was my way of life. I thought I was gonna make it in that. But when I realized I didn't love it no more and I love cutting hair, I was just like, everyone was telling me, or it was the right thing to stay there, to stay in Portugal because I had the opportunity, you know. But
you got to believe in yourself. You're the only person that has your own back at the end of the day. Like, okay, like I have Carlos's back no matter like what. Like I'll take like 20 million bullets for him. But like you are the only person that has your, at the end of the day, everyone's going to turn against you. You might have 1 or 2 people in your life that are super solid. But in reality,
you only have yourself. In
reality, all your friends at one point had an eye for you. And I know that like nobody likes to hear that because they're like, no, he's my boy, he's my boy. No, like that's
even
like,
you have your own eye for you sometimes because a lot of people they're their worst
enemy. But it's different when it's yourself because like obviously you can self-destruct yourself, but like when it's somebody else, that's when, you know, I don't know, like, and that's why I'm so like protective over Carlos.
Oh my god, yo.
I am like so protective over him
every single second.
But if I wasn't protective over you, some things would have gone so downhill.
Yeah, things would have went downhill. Yeah,
but like, you know, it's my form of like loving you. Like at least I'm protective.
Like, but you like, bro, people have to understand. You have to go through these experiences. Yeah. Like you have to go through failure. You have to go through like fucking up. You have to.
I think I've let you, but it's more like protective over like you, like your energy, like your aura, like what you put. I remember one time I told Carlos, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, you have X amount of energy every single day. Figure out what you want to feed it to. Don't feed it to 10 people. Feed it to like 2, maybe 1. You know.
I had to get the hang of that. I'm not gonna lie, because I wanted to give my energy to everybody. I wanted to help out everybody, but like you said, and I had to realize is that you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped.
Yeah.
You know, like I tried to help people that didn't want to be helped. I tried to make them find something in themselves that they didn't even know they had, and sometimes it would work, but it's like when it didn't, I was just like, fuck, I put in so much time into this person, you know? Like
put that time into yourself, put that time into your business.
I realized I had to put that time into myself because I was draining myself and it was backfiring me. You know?
Yeah, so that's like, you know, like it's good to have a wingman. It's good to have somebody there because I used to check them so many times. I used to be like, don't do that. Like, you know, like do this, do that. And like, yeah, okay, must have gotten annoying at one point. But like, I don't know. If it comes from a good place, I think... You know, that's all that matters.
I mean, we've been talking on this for a while.
Yeah.
I just kind of we're just starting this because we just said why not. We thought it'd be cool. We tried recording today, but you know, things didn't really
We'll
work
record
out.
next episode, but
Yeah, we'll record
but
next
I feel
episode,
like the
but-
purpose of this is like Carlos is so smart and he has so much like knowledge, and you know, like as he said, what's the point of dying with all your knowledge? And like I don't really talk a lot. I'm like always behind the scenes.
Yeah, but you have a lot of knowledge too.
Yeah, I mean, like I
Half
think
the shit that I say, you put it into my mind, honestly.
but like you know, I think it'd be really cool to just see like not like only our perspective. We'll obviously get younger people on here, but like a young person's perspective on life and like so many things going on, you know.
I think this is a good, like, and I think this is a good thing that we created this, because I think it's also good for, you know,
Other people,
other whatever, barbers or young people that are trying to figure out their life and trying to figure out, like, you know, business, and just to get, you know, more further in depth and to hear the truth, because we don't cap. I don't like capping.
No.
So
no caps here.
no caps.
No caps.
All just lowercase.
All caps, no fat. No, all facts, no cap. Just like Cardi B said.
Yo, but yeah, at the end of the day, like, this is just for anybody. We don't expect millions of people to watch this or listen to this, but
If it helps like one person, like
bro,
that's nice.
if this can help one person, like, well, we'll be talking about like different topics. We just did this kind of today as like just
A tester,
get to know us, but
Yeah.
we're probably gonna be talking about we're gonna come up with some topics to talk about some stuff, business, life,
day-to-day life.
you know, young people shit.
Yeah, it's nice when you have someone being like telling you what you did not think was true. Like, damn, like people go through that too. Like, damn,
Yeah.
like, you know, like, wow, like I didn't know people actually go through that stuff, because no one, like, I don't think we ever had somebody like that.
No, and that's the thing. And like I say, people don't want to give away shit because they think someone's gonna do it better than them. But at the end of the day, like, all the information I give, all the information my sister gives, like, bro, take of it and try and do it your best.
Yeah.
It'll never be the way we do it because it's the way we do it. But
Yeah.
you know, as long as we can give you guys some insight on it. But
Yeah.
I think that's it for today.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for listening.
You already don't know, fam.
Yeah, from a certified Toronto man and a certified. But thank you guys.
Stay tuned for the next one dropping to be determined.
Okay, bye.
Oh no.